Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 191 of the Terminal City FC podcast, part of the Area 51 Sports Network. Josh Ray joined alongside Nathan Derrick, as per usual, talking all things football. So let's start with the Vancouver Whitecaps, as always. They, at first, played a pretty pitiful game in Colorado against the Rapids, another 3-0 loss, but ended up bouncing back last night in Houston with a reverse score, 3-0. I just realized that.
Again, we said if they could get 10 points out of these 6 games on the road trip, and they're headed in that direction. They've got, 6 so far?
6, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not bad when you think that they've played 4 of the matches.
Yeah, not bad. But, the Whitecaps have been on a spiral since the Champions Cup final, and they needed a win like that in Houston. But we'll quickly go over the game in Colorado. Well, not too much, though. It was just pretty bad overall. And they were down 2-0 in the first half, and no cohesion anywhere. They looked poor in the attack, vulnerable defensively. Honestly, it could have been like 6-7-0.
It was a hesitant match. It was a tired match. Everything was second best.
Yeah, and Yohei Takaoka did end up making a penalty save, and he did end up making some pretty big saves, and it could have been worse. But I think on the second or third goal, where he was just so hesitant to come out.
The third goal, if I remember.
Yeah, the third goal.
Yeah, that is the one where you absolutely can say this one's on you. But yeah, surprisingly, he did come up with some pretty big saves, the penalty included. So, like I said, this game could have been 6-0.
Yeah, and thankfully it was only 3. And for the Whitecaps, it was just, I don't know. There's several games that you can think for worst performance of the season in MLS, by the way, not counting the Champions Cup final.
Yeah,
I think that one is a new contender.
Again, this is one of those ones where just the midfield was absolutely overrun. I'm starting to lose a little bit of patience with Jason Ngando. Yeah.
I don't know. The guy has opportunities to shoot, but he just doesn't. I don't understand.
I do wonder if it's a consistency thing. When you're not given consistent minutes, you're trying to find your form again. We've seen that with Brian White, even now coming back from Gold Cup and not playing for basically 5 weeks. It's taken him a little bit to get back, and we finally got there a little bit last night. But even for as good as his numbers were last night, it was still oddly kind of a silent game, and we can talk about that as well too.
Yeah, so nothing much to say about the Colorado game other than that it was bad. But last night, big bounce back. And Jesper Sorensen and his coaching staff made some tweaks. And they, instead of the usual 4-3-3, it was a 5-2-3, according to the Apple TV broadcast.
5-2-3 in defense, 3-4-3 in attack.
Yeah, that's what Sorensen said last night.
Definitely the wide players of Ocampo and Tate Johnson relished this game. Everything was going down the sides, especially through Ocampo, who the number of crosses that this guy puts into the box is just absolute, and good crosses, dangerous crosses were phenomenal.
Like right from kickoff, the Whitecaps just dominated Houston. Like first 10 minutes, it was all Whitecaps in the Houston half, and Houston had trouble breaking out.
Houston and then had trouble in their own stadium this season. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the Apple TV guys said home form has been a problem for the Dynamo this season. And the Whitecaps made the Dynamo pay with the first goal. Ocampo with a very good cross. Laborda charges into the box. It's stopped by Jonathan Bond, who I totally forgot was still playing in MLS, by the way, until last night. And then Emmanuel Sabi buries the rebound.
Yeah, one time off kind of a volley or half volley, I'm not too sure. But Bond made the original kind of redirection just to get it, out of Laborda's area. It was tough to tell. I thought it was White at first. Someone else had said that it was Rios. Turns out it's Laborda, who's The number of times Laborda got up in this game is another thing we can talk about as well.
He was playing as a right center back.
He was, yeah.
I believe he's played that position.
Yep.
In his previous club, and I think
he played it last year quite a lot under Vanni Sartini as well, right? He would either be on the right kind of wing, or he would be that right center back as well.
So it's not new to him.
No, it's not. Absolutely, he's actually a more diverse player than I think he gets credit for.
I think it's more diverse than people realize.
Yeah. But yeah, Emmanuel Sabbi, and I'll say this right now, I may have been wrong on him.
I think ever since we criticized him a few weeks ago, he just turned up. Maybe he's been listening. I don't know. If he has, good for him. Thanks for proving us wrong. Good on you.
And it's not just the numbers that are coming up, but he's finding himself in dangerous positions. The pace that he has, and he actually showed it last night when he I think it was in the second half, and he got around his defender to cut inside the box. He's strong on the ball. He stays on his feet, which I'm a fan of. Yeah, I think I might have to take.
I think we got to eat our words.
Mulligan on this.
We got to say sorry to Emmanuel Sabbi for
criticizing. But I've been very happy with what he's been doing. And again, this could be that argument for consistency. He's getting consistent game time. Nelson had his suspension. Ali Ahmed is out right now with injury. Gauld is out. Sabbi, at many times, has been the only out-and-out winger available. I mean, we've seen Rios having to play on the other side on occasion as well. But he's grown into it now with that consistency, and it's paying off.
Yeah, and he was taking on defenders all game. Like, he was trying to, use his strength, use that speed of his to take on defenders. And he eventually did win
I was not happy to be playing against him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did win the penalty for the third goal. Brian White stopped by Bond, and of course, he was not missing the rebound.
No. Someone actually put a note to me today that technically the Brian White goal is still an open play goal because it is the rebound. I was like, yeah, of course it is.
It is.
Even when he does get a penalty, which is, rare, it still ends up being an open play goal.
Yeah, and once Ryan Gauld comes back, White's never going to take penalties for a long time.
No.
Yeah, and the second goal, though, like that, right? White deserves a lot of credit for the second goal. He didn't get the shot off, but he managed to create space. Him and Rios managed to create space for Sebastian Berhalter for his goal. Went off the Houston defender, but still a well-taken shot.
You saw that a lot with the Whitecaps, especially the attacking third, where they would stretch out the defenders as much as possible to create those gaps, especially in between the center backs. Sabbi's goal, because Laborda found that space and was able to pull Bond out. You talked about the other instance. There was many cases of that. And again, that's where a player like Brian White thrives. He loves finding those spaces, especially getting his head on the ball. It's going to be just a matter of time before those sort of goals come back for him as well. But this reminded us of the Whitecaps that we saw at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And I will say, I don't know if it's the Brian White factor of him kind of leading that high press. Rios was pressing.
Yeah,
which is not something we see when he's the guy leading the line.
It's just strange to me. Like, as a winger, he presses way more.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's maybe because he is that secondary guy, but when he's leading it, he doesn't. The defenders have all the time they want on the ball. So, it was nice to see. It was a nice change.
Yeah, and defensively, the Whitecaps look very sound. Other than there are a couple times where the Houston defenders managed to run in behind, but they ended up messing up the shot. I think Ponce had a really good one in the first half, but he just blasted it wide of Takaoka. Not a single shot on target from Houston, by the way.
Not at all.
So Takaoka didn't have to make a single save. That was tough for him.
They had a couple of shots in the second half, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but it wasn't even. They weren't even close.
No, they were from outside the 18 and all that. Again, is that 10 clean sheets for Takaoka now?
That's the most in the league.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of bounce back, that's a bounce back from Yoi Takaoka. who has had a couple of rough games. And
bounce back for Takioka, bounce back for Laborda. Again, a few people talking about probably one of his best games as a Whitecap. Again, I think you also have to put in that LAFC game where, he basically made Danny Buonga non-existent. We were talking to him last night, and I found myself a little bit surprised when I thought that he's actually been a part of this club for quite a while now. Like he's kind of one of the veterans of this club. He second full season, but he came in the middle of what was that? I guess
2023. I think early 2023.
Yeah. So I think he's finding his way.
Yeah, and he said that at the beginning he had to adapt, but now since he's been here for a while, he knows the teams, he knows the way the other teams play, and he just does his thing no matter where he's put on the pitch.
That seems to be the general mentality of a lot of players on this team, at least anyone that we've talked to. And I mean, I attribute it to what we used to see of Sebastian Berhalter, right? Last year, where I think he covered every single position except goalkeeper. And I mean, his whole mentality was put me on the pitch, tell me what the job is, and I'll find a way to do it. He just wants to be out there, right? And I feel that from a lot of players. The buy-in from Sartini to Sorensen hasn't changed. And I'm very happy how seamless, at least from the outside, and from a little bit of
I think
that we've been able to
anyone, whether they're on the outside or the inside, can see, because this group has been together for several years now.
Yeah. And players like Sabi are finding their way.
Yeah, and just in talking to Sabi, he seems like a very upbeat guy in general, so that just adds, more positivity to the locker room.
Yeah.
And
Berhalter, I think that was his second goal of the season that he got.
Yeah, in MLS.
Again, a passing play that worried me. You're just waiting for someone to take the shot, but it did pay off at this time. But the amount of touches on the ball before it got to Berhalter for that shot was quite a lot. Benefit of deflection. I think Bond would have had it if it wasn't deflected, but Berhalter got credit.
Yeah, and then we got to talk about Eddie Ocampo, who, not just his crosses, but he was a thorn in the side for Houston all game. He won the most duels out of anyone on the pitch, 12, and was fouled 7 times, most out of anyone. And then someone mentioned to me on Blue Sky, like, is that Eddie Ocampo, or did we get Richie Larea on loan? Because Ocampo channeled his inner Larea, channeled his inner Atletico Madrid player. Like, he was manifesting the dark arts.
I had a few conversations with a few people, and it's the whole thing of like, look, I get it. It works. Not only that, but he was directly responsible for at least 2 of the 5 yellow cards that Houston were given in the game as well. Might have been 3, but 2 that I can remember definitively.
Yeah,
it works. I still hate it. I hate
it, but it worked.
It grinds me to see a player on your team do it where like I said, it reminds me of, I think it was about a decade ago, a player doing this in, I want to say it's the Bulgarian top flight, and the coach walked up onto the pitch, grabbed the player by the neck, hauled him up, smacked him, and told him to get back playing.
Well, luckily for Ocampo, Sorensen didn't mind the antics. He said, that's the way it works.
I hate to see it. I hate it even more when it's a player on my team.
Yeah,
and I get it. It works, and you're allowed to do it. So carry on. I know I'm the odd one out on this one, but it just.
So Ocampo needs to work on his acting skills. Remember the first half, he was rolling like, I don't know, like
so many yards that he got his foot almost into the groin of another player. I thought he was going to get a yellow.
Surprisingly, he didn't, and he's not winning an Oscar for that. We'll put it that way.
No.
And given how physical that game was, I am very surprised no one got sent off.
There were a number. How many cards were in this game?
There were quite a bit of cards.
9 cards. 5 for Houston, 4 for the Whitecaps. It did get chippy, and it got chippy kind of on both sides, because even the Whitecaps seemed there was frustration at times boiled over. Brian White's yellow card was avoidable. It seemed like he was trying to re-win a ball that he had lost and just went in a bit too hard. Bearhalter's card, I don't know. I think he breathed in the wrong direction. I still don't know how that
Yeah, I don't understand that one because the ref kind of lost some points in the match. He's made some questionable calls. The Bearhalter one was just confusing.
Yeah. Maybe he gave a stink eye. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe he said something.
But it could have threatened to boil over. I think maybe the heat of the game just made players too tired to do it.
Yeah, and Sorensen talked about it at the end of the game. He said he liked how disciplined they were, especially in that second half, given how physical and heated it was. Pun intended.
So this is the first time that they have beat Houston since 2023. It's the first time that they've won Houston since 2018.
Kate Kamara and Breck Shea scoring that day. I was in grade 12.
Wow. There you go. That's a whole other era.
Old. Yeah, that was a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
And just overall, like, that was the Whitecaps we saw, like, early in the season. And Sorensen, I think he gave out one of the best quotes of the season last night. He said, it's not about falling, it's about how you get up. And he acknowledged that the team will fall at times, but they have to get up. And to me, honestly, what separates the good teams from the bad teams in any sport, in any league, is how they handle adversity and how they get up.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, this has the Whitecaps at 41 points. 1 point behind San Diego. Oddly enough, Toronto FC did the Whitecaps a favor last night, winning 1-0 against San Diego, who I don't think anyone saw that coming. So it's San Diego who they're going to be playing on the weekend. Whitecaps have an opportunity to regain the lead in the West. And they're only 5 points off the Supporter Shield race, currently being led by Philadelphia. Cincinnati and Nashville also very close in that race.
Yeah, Cincinnati beat Inter Miami 3-0 last night, by the way. Which, MLS weekdays are crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why Google has the Eastern Conference is Group A, as you can see, and the Western Conference is Group B, but point is Whitecaps are a point behind San Diego, and if the Whitecaps beat San Diego on Saturday, they overtake them for first place in the Western Conference, and Toronto FC, of all teams, beat them. And just from watching the highlights of last night's game, San Diego had all that possession and did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And, the last time San Diego and the Whitecaps met was not too long ago on the 25th at BC Place, 5-3 game. Just a poor defensive game from the Whitecaps in general. And the guy that torched them that game is no longer a San Diego player. And I didn't even know he was a loanee.
Yeah, Milan Ioski, I believe.
Yeah, Ioski.
Yeah.
They have agreed to terminate the loan, mainly because they couldn't come to a permanent deal. And he is heading back to Denmark for his parent club. Oh my, FC Nordsjælland.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. I'll give you that one. This was, and the funny thing is this is a deal that both the club and the player wanted.
But they couldn't come to a deal.
They were just so far apart. This is a big loss for San Diego. Ioski had 10 goals, 1 assist in 14 matches.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal for them. Now I don't know if it was a deal couldn't be done with the parent club or if a deal couldn't be done.
According to Tom Bogert, both sides wanted a permanent deal, but they were far apart on money. It may be revisited later in the window, but Ilowski is exploring European options, and there's a chance other MLS clubs could want to sign him too. Basically, that's what I would assume.
Yeah. You got yeah. I know that there are clubs in the East that are shopping for big money number 9s, but I don't know if they have DP money. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Well, this is just my take. I don't have inside info on this. I'm not Tom Bogert, but I'm pretty sure Ilowski wanted DP money, and San Diego just
isn't it? Is it Columbus that's looking at Giamakis right now?
Something like that.
Where
they could use him because that would be a good.
Charlotte. Sorry,
Charlotte and Columbus could use him.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they could bring him there, the thing is Charlotte doesn't have DP money. They'd be looking at like maybe high level TAM. I don't know if you'd be able to bring
I don't. And then Columbus, they're Columbus.
Yeah.
They want their DPs.
Absolutely.
But back to San Diego, they're still a good team without Ilowski. Remember Anders Dreyer? Like, he's been the main guy this season. It was his creativity that torched the Whitecaps too. When they were,
I agree. I think I mean, Ilowski benefited from it, but Dreyer was the engine on the pitch.
Yeah, and this is a chance for the Whitecaps to get revenge on that game and hopefully have a better start compared to that game. But they're going to be in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium. I believe that's what it's called. And is San Diego reeling from the loss of Ilowski because no offense last night against Toronto? And obviously, the Whitecaps will have to play a very good defensive game to nullify Dreyer. We'll see if Sorensen goes back to the usual 4-3-3 or uses last night's formation as well. And, I mean, this is a very good opportunity for the Whitecaps to get back into form, get some wins on the board, and, put the last few weeks behind them and remind the rest of MLS, hey, this is who we are. We're one of the elites. Don't forget us. We're one of the best.
No, absolutely.
And Whitecaps San Diego on Saturday, and this is the last of their 5-game journey. And after that, they return home to face Sporting Kansas City. So, I don't know, off the pitch, there's been some big news. Pedro Vite is pretty much no longer a Whitecap. He is joining Pumas, and he was actually doing interviews at the airport, and not in Vancouver, but in Mexico City.
Right.
And it's only a matter of time before Pumas announces the deal, and according to Mexican sources, it looks like the Whitecaps will receive $7 million USD for Vite.
Yeah, we knew that he was heading down for a medical. It sounds like even though according to Axel Schuster, that they did sign that extension with Vite to 2029 only a few weeks ago, and at the time there was no interest from anywhere. Like, yes, we heard AS Roma and stuff like that, but
that was way before.
Yeah, but that wasn't really anything on the page. This from Pumas actually came a week after that, and apparently there was some sort of gentleman's agreement that if any clubs came, that the Whitecaps would at least listen to offers. Pumas comes knocking, they have deeper pockets. You have to say $7 million is a nice base. I really hope that there are some performance incentives in there as well, that the fee might get raised. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen one thing anywhere, but $7 million is
it's a lot.
It's not bad. And I believe
it's 9.6 million Canadian, by the way.
Sorry?
9.6 million Canadian.
I believe it's the second highest fee the Whitecaps have received behind Alphonso Davies.
Yep. And remember, spend the Davies money? It's now spend the Vite money.
Yeah, but spend it responsibly. You don't want to do like a Tottenham Gareth Bale situation.
Yeah, I don't want to have another Lucas Cavallini, but the Whitecaps are already set at striker with Brian White.
Yeah.
So there's
one guy that they are looking at. We can talk about Kenji Cabrera.
Yep. You did a thread on him, and I wrote about him a little bit.
Yeah. 22-year-old Peruvian-Japanese player currently playing for FBC Melgar in the Peruvian Primera Division, top flight of Peru. and a player that has really come into his own this season, become very, very integral to his club.
Yes.
Right-footed, but he prefers to play on the left, either as a winger or a midfielder. Very, very strong on the ball. Very strong lower body.
Lower body.
Yeah. So he's not a guy you're going to knock off the ball, a guy that can get into positions. Another guy that apparently is really, really good on dead ball situations.
Yeah, and when he plays in the midfield, he's very good at making interceptions. And, given the Whitecaps have a counter-pressing system and winning the ball back is like super important, that fits the profile.
He's also a guy good with quick transitions. So moving the ball forward, especially when he's playing in a midfield role, is kind of what seems to be his credit and what's really made him integral to his club right now. He definitely fits the profile of a U22 initiative player.
He is exactly 22, but it is likely he will be the U22 guy.
Yeah, at least for a year.
Yeah, let's.
He is a guy that can work as a replacement for Vite, but he is a guy that you would.
He's still growing.
He's not that role, right?
A proven player yet.
But here's the funny thing: Vite wasn't this player until this season either, right? Vite, when he's finally become the player that we all hoped he would be, and now he's out the door. But
remember, Vite was 19 when he came in. Cabrera is 22, so it'll take less time for him to develop.
You're getting a bit more of a more developed individual.
Yeah, and he's also very good at these passes, as you can see here.
Yeah,
and set pieces are also a strength.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he's going to, being right-footed, I don't think that he's going to be knocking Berhalter off that duty either. But you had seen in certain cases, especially with the Canadian men's national team, Ali Ahmed sometimes stepping up and taking those corners, things like that. Cabrera definitely fits within that and could be another option, obviously.
Yeah, and Axel Schuster pretty much hinted names are coming, names with an S. So expect multiple.
Whitecaps are going to be busy this offseason.
I wrote an article for Area 51 Sports Network talking about Cabrera and how this is like the biggest transfer window of their MLS era. And obviously, we talked about last week they need a left back. Tate Johnson can't do it alone. Another center back for depth, because why not? And
I'll say right now, I don't expect a center back. I think DeFugero was the guy they were looking at. Again, can also play on the left, but that's not happening. I think they're looking for, obviously, someone to come in and do the Pedro Vite role and a left back. If they bring in those two players and they're of starting caliber, that might be the transfer window that we see. I'd be surprised if it ends up being three players.
It could be two. I'm guessing two or three.
Two, and then maybe someone that you develop with the second team with the idea that maybe they can jump into the role next year.
Yeah, and Axel said that I'm just bringing up here. Yeah, the money. He hinted that the money would be good enough to replace Vite and multiple. It's going to spend on multiple players, and
well, here's the one that people have talked about. Now we've talked about Stanic before.
He's going. According
that's not happening.
That's done. It's not happening. He's heading to Ludogorets in Belarus, I believe.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now the other guy that's still available,
or Hungary. I think that's Hungary. Yeah, Hungary.
Ludogorets is Bulgaria. I think.
Or Bulgarian. I don't know the flag. Let me just look it up here. Sure Ludogorets.
Bulgaria.
Yeah, Bulgaria, because they're playing against Dynamo.
Milan Borjan played for them for a while.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. The other name that has been talked about from Austria Vienna in obviously the Austrian League is Dominic Fitz.
My top target, but Schuster denied there were talks, even though Tom Borgert reported that they were close to signing him last winter.
This is a player they've been looking at for a long time, and you got to think with the fee they just received, right now, I mean, it's transfer market, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. Apparently, it's a transfer fee that would be around the 3.5 million range. So if you're talking about bringing in multiple players, you can spend a decent amount of money and still have enough for someone else.
Yeah, and remains to be seen if Fitz or somebody else is the guy. Ideally, I would like Fitz. Either he's probably going to be on like a high TAM deal or a DP if should they choose to go back to the 3 DPs.
I think with Fitz, the Whitecaps have more than enough funny money that they're not
they can
worry.
High TAM deal.
I think you could even get him on a high senior contract.
Yeah, and because they have stocked up on GAM, it's like over $1 million now.
Yeah,
apparently.
Also, you got to remember they're going to be receiving GAM from a Vite deal.
Yep. So here comes the money.
Yeah,
the Vite money. Cha-ching ching. So we'll see what the Whitecaps do over the next few weeks. Excuse me, window opens a week today.
There you go.
All right. So more MLS news. One of the biggest villains in Europe, Rodrigo De Paul of Atletico Madrid, is joining Messi and his retirement crew in Miami on loan, according to Tom Bogert.
On loan, yeah. It would not be a DP deal, so they don't have to switch any of the DPs that they already have. I don't know. Miami is building squads in MLS like it's the early 2000s.
Like the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah.
Bogert says that there's a purchase option around $17 million plus add-ons. And Atletico can trigger a 1-year contract option.
And the thing is in MLS, transfer fees are still part of that weird cap structure. So how do you spend 10 million or 17 million and not make him a DP? It's impossible.
Yeah, unless
this is a loan. Unless they can basically get him on a free sometime later on, it's not going to be anything else other than a loan. So
Messi, as the joke says, Messi has 2 bodyguards in Miami now.
Yeah.
And DePaul is bringing his antics to MLS and CONCACAF, which honestly suits him. At least the Whitecaps won't have to deal with that. Well, unless, they face in the MLS Cup final.
Yeah.
And
this one is
really this one just came out of left field, and this is regarding a Canadian international.
Yeah.
Matthew Chouanier, less than a year after leaving CF Montreal for Grasshoppers, is heading back to MLS to LAFC.
Yeah. I think he had 18 matches with Grasshoppers.
17. 8 were starts. Okay. 824 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's not a lot. This is surprising to me.
Yeah.
But if this is a guy who wants to have consistent playing time, especially heading on to a World Cup year.
Yep.
I mean, I get it.
But why did it have to be LAFC?
I know.
Hey, too bad the Whitecaps were in on this. That would have been a good Vite replacement.
Yeah, absolutely, actually, yeah.
And it's unknown whether Chouanier will be a DP. I doubt he will in LA.
I don't think he would be, no.
Yeah, but Tenorio is pretty reliable. He writes for The Athletic. So, yeah, this deal is pretty much happening unless it goes sideways.
I will say for LA, I like this deal.
Yeah, I do.
I think it for not only for the strength, but you got to think the front line of LAFC is going to benefit from a player like Chouanier.
And the service he brings.
He's also very, very good as a first line of defense.
Yeah, and he's a guy like down on the pecking order in the midfield for Canada. And this, he gets more minutes. He gets to show off that.
I think his stock grew.
It did
summer.
But if you're looking at the World Cup roster, he's not starting over with someone like Eustachio.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a good move for him, and
absolutely.
Hopefully he gets some more minutes. Because if he's not playing at a Grasshopper, and they nearly got relegated this past season, what's the point? So moving on from MLS, the Northern Super League is back, and the Rise played the Calgary Wild at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, and ended up being a 2-1 loss. And the start wasn't good enough, basically.
No. Again, though, a game with phenomenal goals. Calgary got started early with a nice, I hate to say it, McCaslin might want this one back. It was a nice chip over her for Calgary to go up 1-0. They got second late in the half. Beautiful free kick. I mean,
from a tight angle. It just fooled everyone.
You're not going to see a better free kick, I think, in NSL.
I think Vancouver was expecting a cross, and it just fooled everyone.
Yeah, it was a great one. They did pull one back. DiFilippo with a nice headed ball in the 82nd minute off a free kick that the Rise had, but it was too little, too late.
I want to see her start at least the game because she's good with her head, given the amount of crosses the Rise put in.
Yep.
She should get a start.
This
in the near. I don't think she started one game.
Vancouver Rise are 5th in a league of 6 teams. Now I get it. There's a lot of congestion. Like they're only 2 points behind the Rapid, who are in 3rd. But Halifax, ever since they made their coaching change, has started to pick up. They've got 3 wins on the season right now, 10 points, only 2 points behind Vancouver.
Yeah,
this was a team that was sitting on a single point for, I don't know, 8 games.
Yeah, the Northern Super League is a tight league.
Unless you're Toronto.
Yeah, unless you're Toronto. But Halifax is next.
Yeah,
Halifax. And I believe the Rise
if they
played them twice at Swangard.
They're going to be at the bottom. Like there is there should be some serious concerns about this. Now, the transfer window for the NSL opens up, I believe, I want to say on the 20th. It's coming up very soon as well. And the Rise have said they're shopping.
Which is good. So, well, they have to be shopping because the team this talented should be higher up in the standings.
Now, the other thing I will say that was a very welcome sign in this game, Nikki Stanton came back. She has been gone for quite a while due to injury. She came on, I believe, in the 60th minute, got a half hour underneath her belt. So it was very nice to see her back in the midfield.
Yeah. Hopefully, when she gets fully healthy, things start to click.
Well, I mean, we saw that at the beginning of the season, the midfield of Quinn and Stanton. It was great. You add in someone like Chang, who's also really, really grown into that role as well. We also see, I want to say, isn't Longhurst? No, Longhurst plays further up. Someone else stepped in there. But yeah, getting Stanton back, I think, is a very integral piece to how this team wishes to play.
Yeah. And big opportunity this weekend against Halifax. Yeah. It's on the road. Well, the Rise have struggled on the road this season.
But Halifax is an interesting case right now. I mean, they've got, was it Stephen Hart?
Yeah, we talked about him. Very experienced coach.
So, and I mean, 2 wins in not that many games. So,
yeah, I mean, Halifax is dealing with the new coach bump, and I'm just taking a look here. I don't think the Rise have won a single game on the road this season.
Really?
The site doesn't have like home and away stats, but that's what I'm thinking because I'm looking back. I think all their wins have been at home. That's longer.
I mean, it could very well be. I'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
All right, Josh, tell me about Chelsea. How
leading the Chelsea world? Are champions of the world, and I don't care what anyone says. Chelsea are the best club in the world right now. They get a gold badge for the next 4 years on their kits. I will hopefully get one soon. That says FIFA World Champions, even though the badge just looks plain. And I wish they just stick with the old design, but everyone doubted Chelsea heading into this game. Everyone was like, oh, PSG are going to destroy Chelsea 8-0 because PSG are the best team in the world. I'll admit, I was scared. I had trouble sleeping at night because I was having nightmares about Dembele against Robert Sanchez. And not looking back, why was I scared? Why was I nervous?
Chelsea was phenomenal. I have to say that.
Because this is Chelsea, and when Chelsea are underdogs in the finals, they win. Remember 2012? Remember 2021? Underdogs in both games. They won. And remember, Chelsea don't play finals. They win them. And right from the kickoff, dominance. I had questions about Maresca playing Reece James in the midfield and Malo Gusto as a right back, but it worked. Counter-pressing, fast transitions. In some ways, they were beating PSG at their own game. Because in the first 20 or so minutes, PSG could barely test Robert Sanchez. And by the way, speaking of that guy, he proved everybody wrong. I don't know what he did the night before or what kind of prayer he said, but he turned into prime Petr Cech. Because he made some great saves. Made one in the second half off Dembele. He stopped Doué in the first half. Nothing can get past Robert Sanchez. And with the ball, he didn't give it away. He didn't have any bozo moments. He just shot it up the field. I guess Maresca changed the game plan. No more playing out for the back as much. Just launch it up the pitch. And guess who stepped up when they needed him the most? Cole Palmer. 8 goal contributions in 6 career finals. Remember Drogba back in the day? I think this is the second coming of Drogba's clutchness at Chelsea.
That's lofty words.
2 goals in 8 minutes. The first one, Malo Gusto chases the ball. He knocks Nuno Mendes, of all people, off his feet. And then Palmer's just there to just blast it past Donnarumma. Gusto had a good game, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the second goal, he waits patiently. He dummies the PSG defenders. Pretty much scores almost an identical goal to the first one. And he wasn't then there. Drop on the transition. João Pedro runs. Palmer just sees him down the pitch. And Pedro just scores on the breakaway. This is a duo that could potentially tear up the Premier League. 3 goals in 3 games for João Pedro. And he hasn't even seen Cobham yet. This guy was on a beach in Rio not too long ago. And now he's a world champion in scoring goals. And then to make things even more impressive, PSG, known for being calm and composed no matter what, they were rattled. In the second half, they decided to turn into MMA fighters. With these tackles and everything. And then João Neves gets sent off for pulling Marc Cucurella's hair. Because I think he was jealous of Marc Cucurella's hair. And Cucurella should never cut his hair. Because that is easy red card bait. And then at full time, Luis Enrique, one of the most calm and composed managers in world football, storms onto the pitch and tries to punch João Pedro. Or I think he actually landed a blow. And then Donnarumma tried to fight several Chelsea players. Remember, PSG destroyed Inter Milan. They beat Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa. They looked unstoppable all year. But Chelsea made them look like Burnley. Oh, and by the way, this is crazy. The last team to actually beat PSG this season, Strasbourg. Chelsea's sister club.
That's kind of interesting.
Strasbourg. So Blue Co beat PSG twice this season. Just a dominant performance all around. That first half was one of the best halves I've ever seen Chelsea play. And Palmer, man of the match, player of the tournament, well deserved. Robert Sanchez, goalkeeper of the tournament. And after all the abuse and stick he gets from me and Chelsea fans, he deserves it. And honestly, I don't think Chelsea are going to buy another goalkeeper unless there's a interesting name that pops up. Because that Sanchez performance, boosts the confidence of everybody. And now he better translate it into the Premier League next season. Because he's a good shot stopper, but it's the brain farts. And he did not have a single brain fart against PSG. Guy was locked in. And then the trophy lift. Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Had to make it about himself. Because of course he did.
Do you know what this reminded me of? Winter Olympics Sochi. When Putin came out for the gold medal of the hockey game and had to give some weird propaganda speech before anyone would receive their medal, right?
I forgot about that. At least Trump didn't have to say anything, but He stood right there, front and center, when Reece James was lifting the trophy, and both Reece James and Cole Palmer were like, "What's he doing?"
Did you see the whole thing of Cole Palmer going around where he's like, "Why is he here?" sort of thing?
Yeah, and he was confused. He even admitted, like, he was confused. Like, why was Trump on the stage? And apparently, Infantino was gesturing at Trump to get him off.
Oh, really?
But
well, apparently, Reece James actually asked him, "Was like, are you leaving?" And Trump turned to him and said, "I'm celebrating with you."
You're not part of the team, Donald.
Yeah, like, why are you here?
Like, and why would we want a convicted felon who has so many charges that I can't even count on the podium with Chelsea? And thank God for Photoshop, because he's been photoshopped out of the trophy celebrations, because it's just a stain that having Donald Trump.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
And a historic moment from Chelsea, and yeah, he had to make it all about him because he's Donald Trump. But Ayo Bedodig Bali, Clear Lake Capital, Todd Bowley, Paul Wood Stanley, and Lawrence threw an apology because this proves the project is working. And this project could potentially turn into something great. And this showed why. And I don't want to hear any of this, "Oh, Chelsea had the easy path." Ironically, the easiest game was against PSG. Remember, those Brazilian teams actually gave Chelsea a hard time.
Yeah.
And just, by the way, respect Benfica. They're a good team.
They are. Respect
Benfica. And, "Oh, it's a meaningless tournament. It's a glorified preseason tournament." No, it's not. A lot of the players said they love playing it, despite, the heat and everything. I think
they liked the tournament. They just hated playing it in America.
Yeah. Hopefully it's somewhere not as hot. Well, it's summer, but
it's going to be hot anywhere. But if you can just have more consistent weather,
Brazil maybe. Oh, that's going to be even worse. And it's like, oh, they got lucky. Oh, this tournament is a fraud tournament because Chelsea didn't finish in the top 3 of the Premier League. So Chelsea beat the best team in Europe in the final. They didn't just beat them, they battered them. So I enjoyed drinking all the tears from rival fans over the past few days. And looking back at the people who said Chelsea were finished when they were sanctioned in 2022, they were finished in 2023. Look at that. And by the way, Chelsea were sanctioned, changed ownership, went through several different managers and spent $1 billion and won a trophy before Arsenal did. Even Tottenham won a trophy before Arsenal did. Yeah. There are levels to this game. So, other than that, Telegraph is reporting that 10 big-name companies want to be Chelsea's shirt sponsor now. Not surprising. And Chelsea have also received £90 million, approximately, for the Club World Cup. So that adds to the war chest. I wonder who the shirt sponsor will be, because it just looks so plain without one. And rapid fire here. They are currently in talks with Jarrell Hato, the young center back / left back from Ajax that many teams want. He's valued at £60 million, but clubs want to pay 40. We'll see where that goes, because Mark Cucurella needs a backup. Cucurella deserves his Disney cruise with his family, because he's played so many games, and he needs a backup, and Hato has a lot of potential. And the club reportedly wants another winger, since Jamie Gittins is the only natural left winger that can also play cam. And yes, I said I want Rodrigo, but that's unlikely because wages, and he can't play cam. So the options apparently are Morgan Rogers, Eberici Eze, who's linked to Arsenal, but they've contacted Eze's agent. Be funny if they hijacked the deal. Kenan Yildiz of Juventus, and Alejandro Garnacho. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I doubted the Joao Pedro signing. Let's just let Clear Lake do their thing and see what happens from here. And Nicholas Jackson, the interest from other APL clubs are lining up, particularly Man United and Aston Villa. If he goes to Man United, there's a possible of an Alejandro Garnacho swap because the Garnacho links just won't die. It's not like I don't like the player. He can be good if he leaves Man United, though anyone could. It's just his attitude, and I just can't stand his face for some reason. I'm sorry. Oh, nice.
I can still hear you, man.
Yeah, no, the camera. Yeah. And so, Jackson's also linked to Aston Villa, which could be possible if Watkins leaves, and they'll immediately bid for Morgan Rogers. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But right now, Chelsea are the best club in the world. So Tottenham, this Morgan Gibbs White thing, it's the legal action is still being threatened, but nothing's really moved.
Nothing's really happening, but it's all the other stuff that's getting stupid. So Nottingham Forest is still threatening to legal action over a potential Gibbs White transfer. They're saying that Tottenham never had permission to speak to the player. Tottenham believes that they've done absolutely nothing wrong. Now, Forest has stepped it up even further, saying that they're threatening to sue Morgan Gibbs's agent, whether or not that was an alleged leak or something. I'm not too sure. And there could be the potential for a reverse where Morgan Gibbs sues Nottingham Forest over denying a deal because they've met the release clause. Now the thing is Nottingham Forest has been working on months and months and months trying to get Morgan Gibbs to sign a brand new contract with a higher release clause. He said no. It looks like he only wants to go to Spurs. So there is a chance that he could refuse to train and try to force something through. We'll have to wait and see. Spurs have been looking at alternatives. They're looking at Harvey Elliott out of Liverpool as a potential replacement. We'll have to see what happens with that. I don't know right now, but there is the possibility right now. But it looks like all other transfer news is on hold until this gets sorted. They're not looking at any other players until they figure this out. A couple of other news, teams back in training. Early shots. Looks like he's 5 years younger. Like, I don't know what
maybe winning a trophy ease the stress off, son.
Honestly, like, it does seem like that. Now, the other thing that has been going on is the potential for naming rights for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yep, I've heard about that.
It's been about almost 6 years now that they've been trying to work on this, and it does look like there is the potential of a deal finally happening with an unnamed Saudi Arabian consortium for naming rights. If it goes through, it would be a potential world record sponsorship deal, upwards of around £400 million for naming rights for the stadium.
What's it going to be called? Something Oil Stadium?
Who knows, right? I honestly don't know right now. It's still in the wings, waiting to happen. But yeah, this could be the big windfall that Tottenham's been waiting for, and leads to hopefully securing bigger names for the team. Waiting to see what happens, but it does feel like it's moving closer. Now, there is also rumors that this could change the role of Daniel Levy, that he would have a somewhat smaller role with the club. So that could be very interesting as well, because this is a guy that's basically controlled Tottenham
for a long time.
Since he was the chairman, right? I mean, we're going back to, I don't know, you got to go back
to... And
this
summer, you actually decided to spend some money.
Yeah, and the thing, this is the thing is, he does actually spend money, but he's just a tough negotiator, which is good and bad, right? Yeah. You can't say Tottenham hasn't spent money because the numbers don't lie. They have. But it always feels like he negotiates.
I think,
and then it gets to the very end and realizes that he hasn't spent anything, and then he just sprays his money.
I think everyone's surprised how fast the kudos deal came about.
It was nice. It was nice to see.
It was just like this.
I really hope the Morgan Gibbs thing, Gibbs White thing, gets figured out, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. So, Son really, I'm just gonna bring it up here because Son, man, he really looks like he de-aged. He found the fountain of youth. I'm gonna bring it up here. Shared screen. Like, who is this?
I know, right? Like, he looks like he's, I don't know, 26, 15. 27?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And they're saying 10 years younger. I said 5. So, yeah, there you go.
He looks 20 years younger.
I might, yeah. I don't know.
Korean skincare.
Who knows? Like, I know that he is still going to be with the club for a lot of training because it's basically written into a lot of the preseason contracted games.
Preseason for
Korea. That's going to be in Hong Kong, another one in South Korea. That Son has to make appearances, right? So he has to be around for that. What happens after those games, we'll have to wait and see. We know LAFC is waiting in the wings. Although they did spend some money on Schwanner, so who knows? Who knows how much money they have?
The Crystal Palace Europa League demotion situation gets weirder, and someone getting involved is the culture secretary of the United Kingdom, Lisa Nandy.
Yeah, so apparently a bunch of MPs are calling on the culture secretary to get involved. They're calling UEFA's decision to demote Crystal Palace from, I think it's Europa League to Europa Conference as disgraceful. Yep. This is getting wrapped up in the whole thing of multi-club ownership with Lyon, right?
Yeah, Lyon,
I believe, and them not getting relegated in the French league, so they're able to keep their spot. It's a whole fiasco, but it does feel like this isn't done, which is funny because the whole multi-club ownership thing had a deadline of March 1st to be sorted out. We're in July. So I don't know. Like, this has to get sorted out because the preliminary rounds of these European tournaments are going to be starting here very, very soon.
I think late July, early August. I'm actually gonna look that up.
I'm actually wanted to take a look at. Sorry, forget that. They're happening right now.
Oh, well, dang.
The second leg of the first qualifying round is happening as we are recording.
So many teams are playing.
I'm sorry, like this tournament is happening right now, and we're still arguing about who gets to be in it.
Yeah, and apparently Crystal Palace, 6 hours confirmed CAS appeal. Club chairman Steve Parrish claims there is more than enough wriggle room to reinstate the team.
Yeah.
Get Palace in the Europa League.
No, the thing is the CAS is known for not moving quickly. Their hand's going to be forced a little bit for this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. But more around the Premier League. Liverpool, the defending Premier League champions, apparently want to get even bigger after signing Wirtz and Frimpong. They've been linked to Rodrigo and Alexander Isak. But if that doesn't work out, it looks like they're looking at former Chelsea target Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah, apparently they're closing in pretty quickly. It would be a £70 million plus incentive deal. Liverpool basically just wants to buy everyone.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe they haven't even touched. Maybe they haven't even touched the Coutinho money.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, Fabrice Hawkins saying that they've reached an agreement for a 6-year deal for the Ekitike.
Yeah. I think we shall also talk a bit of a Liverpool news from the women's team. First ever £1 million transfer fee. Olivia Smith, Canadian, from Liverpool to Arsenal. Deal done.
Olivia Smith. As we said last week, it's very, cool that a Canadian has broken the women's transfer record.
We were talking about it last week where we were talking about, ceiling smashed. Now it's going to be like, what are the next ones, right?
1.3 million is the exact fee. 20 years old. And hey, look at that. I'm just going to bring this up here. This is a really nice picture for those watching the live cam and her unveiling. Look who she brought. Look at that. Look at that good boy. I think it's a chocolate lab. Yeah. Look at him or her. Just what a good dog.
So it's 1.3 million. That looked like it was American dollars, which would be, I think, the 1 million pound, roughly around that.
Yeah. And then speaking of big transfers, this feels like it's been dragging, though. There's no here we go yet, but it just feels like it's only a matter of time because Gyökeres only wants Arsenal and he refuses to show up for sporting training. Yeah, it looks like Gyökeres is heading to Arsenal, as I predicted back in January. And I don't know what the deal is now. The fee doesn't look like it has to be an issue. I guess it's the contract. And
I'm wondering if there's a release clause and they're looking to undercut it some.
Like the release clause is only like 65 million pounds. I don't think that should be an issue.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know what's taking so long, and be a good striker battle. That with him plus potentially Itakike, Holland.
The Kroenkes are cheap. I don't know.
Oh, and they remembered that they owned Arsenal, and
I think the team that they forgot that they owned was Colorado.
Yeah, and they've been spending with Colorado Rapids.
Yeah, finally.
And since it's inevitable that's going to happen, how will Gyökeres adapt to the Premier League? Although he has played in the Premier League before.
He was in the Premier League with Brighton. Yeah.
Very surprised Chelsea didn't even try to do something because they love Brighton players.
Yeah.
Or ex-Brighton players, but it looks like Gyökeres is going to be Arsenal's Galactico, if you want to say, and they're also pushing hard for Eze as well.
They are, yeah. In fact, I think they're pushing harder. Tottenham is really cooled on him.
Chelsea have just inquired.
Yeah,
but I just it would be so funny if they just hijacked the deal.
You know what? That could very well still happen. I wouldn't be surprised any one of those 3 London clubs. Especially if Tottenham gets this sponsorship deal done and out of the way, and that money all of a sudden it comes flush.
Yeah, and especially with Chelsea's Club World Cup money and the badge saying world champions and everything.
Yeah, and it makes them a very attractive option for players.
For sponsors and players. And Eze's 27, by the way.
Yes.
So Boli and Boli, it's a little old for their standards. So
yeah, you guys are kind of the Leonardo DiCaprio
club
football clubs.
Yeah. So that'll conclude this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Enjoy the heat. Stay hydrated. Remember to put on sunscreen and all that.
Especially if you look like me.
Yeah. And for those who like tanning, I never got the appeal of it. The tan's coming well. I don't know what it is with people in tanning, but anyway, follow me on Twitter at JoshuaRay00. Nathan is at Enduric Podcast at Terminal City FC. Check out Terminal City FC's Instagram and YouTube. We're also on Blue Sky as well. Check out all our articles for Area 51 Sports Network. And thanks to everyone, quite a number of people watching the live feed on our YouTube and Area 51 Sports Network Twitter. And hello to everyone listening on any podcast platform. That concludes this week's episode. Peace out.
Take care.